What is going on, traders? We got us a video. But before we start, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So, heading into tomorrow, I am bullish. Yes, I know CPI, I know Fed meeting, I know all that crap is happening tomorrow. And in case you don't know, core CPI at 8:30 Eastern in the morning, CPI yearly, all that fun stuff. And then in the evening at 2 Eastern, 2:30 Eastern, I should say, we have FOMC press conference. So if you are the type of trader to focus on news, or you trade off news, or you don't trade off news, then keep these things in mind. Other than that, the first thing we're going to go over is stocks, because this is going to give you an idea on why I'm just so bullish heading into tomorrow. Maybe not even just tomorrow, just the rest of the week, rest of the summer, whatever the case may be. First things first is Apple. What have I been telling you guys for the past, I don't even know, 10 videos? If Apple breaks 200, guys, I've said it over and over. If it breaks 200, pack your bags. You're going to the moon. Why? Why 200? Why was 200 so significant? I've showed you guys this multiple times. We go to our weekly time frame. What do you see? We have us a double bottom, and now the double bottom is confirmed, at least on the daily. Not yet the weekly, because the week is still going. But once we broke above this 200, our double bottom was confirmed. It is confirmed on the daily, so we can have more upside on the daily. As far as the weekly, we have to wait and see. Monthly chart, same thing. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, this is even more clean than the weekly. Bottom, neckline, right at 200, 199, 200 range. You couldn't ask for a better setup. Apple is bullish. I told you guys, if it breaks above 200, start packing. You're going to the moon. And I guarantee someone watched those videos and were still skeptical. And look what happened. All right, look what happened. So, as far as Apple goes, what are my expectations for Apple? Now, if you are looking for another opportunity on Apple, okay, let's say you're looking for another opportunity on Apple. You're like, all right, I didn't trust you. You know, I'm new to the channel, whatever the case may be. I didn't trust that 200 break or anything like that. I thought maybe this was going to happen. I thought maybe that was going to happen. I was overthinking, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the case may be, if you're looking for another opportunity on Apple, I'm telling you this now. Lock in with me, right? If Apple just so happens to decide to bless you with this beautiful opportunity to retest. I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow. I can't tell you if it's going to happen anytime soon. It might just keep going up from here. But if Apple retest this supply and demand zone at around 198, 200 range and gives you another opportunity to get in, and we went over this before. Remember, when Apple kept going to 193, I kept telling you guys, it's giving you multiple opportunities to jump into the play. And I guarantee no one was listening. So, if Apple gives you this opportunity right here, we see right here, rejection here, rejection here. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame so we can get a better idea. Multiple rejections at this area. So that is why I kept calling out that 200 level. We see how important this area is. Rejection here, rejection here, rejection here. We even rejected here, and then we finally broke through. All they did when we did get that sell-off the other day was build up liquidity, and then we broke straight through. Clean. Okay? So, again, if Apple gives you this opportunity at 200 again, I would personally take it. My price target, my short-term price target on Apple is about 210. Long-term target, I'm looking at about 230. I think Apple, before its next earnings, and I believe their earnings is somewhere in July, I want to say. Let's check. If Apple, yeah. So before Apple earnings, I genuinely believe that Apple is going to see 230. No doubt in my mind. Okay? No doubt in my mind. But again, if Apple gives you this beautiful move here, whenever it happens, if it happens, I'm taking that opportunity. I'm going to just say that. I'm taking that opportunity. Do what you want with that information. Right now, we are in 220 calls on Apple in the Discord. We're in 220 calls for August 16th. Average of 2.72. Feel free to check out those contracts. We're currently in profit. I'm up at like $200 on the play so far. Nothing too crazy as of yet. And my target is 230. If Apple does give me this opportunity to get more contracts at this 200 level, please believe that I'm taking it. Do what you want with that information. I am taking that. Again, you couldn't ask for a better setup, guys. I mean, the double bottom was calling your name. It was screaming for you to play it. screaming for it. Okay, so that's what I have for Apple. Do what you want with this information. Another opportunity that you can take though. Okay, I've probably been screaming this way more than Apple. At least started off screaming this before Apple. Amazon. Amazon looks pretty much like Apple. Pretty much the same like Apple. It may not be just as clean as Apple, but if you look at the weekly, what do we have? A double bottom. Amazon is setting up the same exact way as Apple. I wouldn't say the exact way, but it's setting up that double bottom for you. All right, it's setting it up. If Amazon gets above 192, 192 market, okay, right here, right above this guy, right here, okay. If it gets above 192, breaks and holds 192, pack your bags, leave the kids, leave the spouse, grab the dog, get some Scooby snacks, get you some fruit snacks. You know, the kids won't need the fruit snacks, okay? Get you some Gatorades, some water. It's going to be a long trip to the moon, okay? I'm telling you this now. 192. If you didn't trust me on Apple, you gotta hear me out on Amazon here, okay? I've proven myself with Apple. Here's your chance to get into Amazon. Now, a potential move that we could be looking at as far as Amazon here. If Amazon does just so happen to bless you with this opportunity, and I'm not saying this is guaranteed, but we do have news tomorrow, so it can happen where we see some slight sell-off. Okay, the market overreacts or whatever the case may be. If Amazon gives you 180, 181 range again, I'm taking that. I'm adding contracts to that move. It's important to note that we're not only in our 200 calls on Amazon, we're in 200 calls for June 21st, but I even doubled down at 190 calls for June 28th in the Discord. Right now, they are in profit as well at an average of 2.3, and right now they're in profit. But I'm telling you guys now, if Amazon blesses you with this move, and we get, I don't even know, maybe some type of sell-off. I mean, you see it here. We bounced here. We bounced here, we zoom out, we bounced here as well. So, a very important trend. So, if Amazon just so happens to get back here and you don't take that opportunity, I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, you don't like money, you hate the moon, you rather be on boring Earth. That's fine with me. Do what you want. All right, but 192 is what I'm looking at. After that, I genuinely believe Amazon is easily going to head towards 200, even higher than 200. That's my personal opinion. I think we're going to be, if they have earnings in July, yeah, I think Amazon is going to run up into its earnings. Okay, do what you want with that information. I literally have nothing bad to say about Amazon. The worst you can get if you do decide to just jump the gun and enter here at around 187, or if it even opens higher, it pulls back at around all the way down to about 181, hits this trend again, and then it starts to break higher. That is on the table. We have a lot of news tomorrow. It can happen. All right, next stock that I've been screaming again, Microsoft. Come on, look at this. Inverse head and shoulder here, head here, on the daily time frame, by the way. Another shoulder here. Bull stepped in very strong here. I mean, Microsoft has been so strong. Even when we had those slight sell-offs, Microsoft continued to hold its ground. Right now, after hours is at 433.42. If you've been following my channel, what have I been saying? If Microsoft gets above 435, okay? If it gets above 435, pack your bags, get you some Cool Ranch Doritos, get you some Snapples, go to the car lot, get you a Lamborghini. Go ahead and rent out the Lamborghini because you're going to be able to pay for it after this move, okay? You're going to be able to pay for it. Get you the Lamborghini, put you some jets on it. We're going to the moon. If Microsoft breaks 435 and hold. Keyword is hold here. Okay, I go by the 2 hour when I'm looking at holds. Okay, so we want to see a 2 hour candle close above, or at least I do. I want to see a 2 hour candle close above 435. After that, Microsoft is going to the moon. My price target right now, at least for the short term, is 450. Highest I'm looking at as 480. A little bit in the long term, but I'm telling you guys this now. If we look through the Discord, can't actually find it, but regardless, Microsoft, we're in 600 calls. I mentioned this in the last video. I think I showed it in the last video, but we are in 600 calls for December 20th. Okay, if Microsoft earnings, okay, let's look at the daily. When do they have earnings? July. Everything, all big tech have earnings in July. I'm telling you guys this now. There's no doubt in my mind that either Microsoft runs into its earnings or is going to decimate its earnings. And we're in 600 calls for December 20th, and we're already in profit. Okay, we're already in profit on these calls. All right, I genuinely believe Microsoft is going to not only crush their earnings, but they're going to bypass that target, no problem. $600, no problem. Do what you want that information. Do your own DD. But I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Okay, 1 plus 1 equals 2, people. Look at this beautiful setup here. You couldn't ask for a more beautiful setup. Now, what is an opportunity for you to get back into Microsoft? Okay, because I'm sure, people have missed those opportunities, or they're too scared to trade, or whatever the case may be. That's fine. Okay, if Microsoft gives you 420 again for whatever reason, 420, 418 around the supply and demand zone, if it blesses you with this opportunity again, okay, not only is that another head and shoulders, another inverse head and shoulders, okay, because you'll have a shoulder here, a head here, and then this, if it does come down here, that will just form another shoulder. It will be bouncing off supply and demand zone at around 420, 418. That's your opportunity to get in. That's where I will be loading calls. Do what you want with that information. Again, it's right there, guys. 435 is right there. I'm telling you, all these stocks, Mega 7, they all look, even semis, okay? Even semis. Semis are taking their time, but I'm telling you, everything looks like it's ready to break higher. It looks like newer highs are coming, okay? I don't care about CPI. I don't care about PPI. I just genuinely don't. I've always given the impression that I don't care about those news events. Why don't I care about those news events? Because TA is going to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Why do I believe that? Because these events happen every single month, guys. They're not new events. These CPI, PPI, they happen every single month. So why wouldn't TA be able to tell us what's going to happen before it happens? I've never had a problem trading through news events. You don't have to, but I genuinely believe that TA, despite what others think, despite what others tell you, despite what you believe about TA, is going to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Now, do we get a sell-off and things like that? Sure. Okay. Absolutely. And we're going to get into that in a bit. But otherwise, I'm not panicking. I've never had a reason to freak out during CPI data because we see this event happen every single month, and almost every single time it happens, the same exact move happens. Whether it's CPI, FOMC, the same thing happens every single month. What did I tell you guys? Heading into CPI data, the market rallies. Okay, today we broke newer highs on the NQ. I don't know how many times I have to say this. If you've been following my video, I say it all the time. What do Mondays and Fridays do? They correlate with each other. Mondays mirror Fridays. If Fridays are bullish, then Mondays are bullish. If Fridays are bearish, then Mondays are bearish. Then Tuesday continues what Monday has started. So if Monday was bullish, then Tuesday will continue that move, but in a bigger way. Historically, before CPI, before PPI, whatever, Fed meeting, Powell, whatever the case may be, the market runs into those events. It's happened every single time, guys. Every single time. And the fact that no trader that I've even seen on Twitter or even YouTube, whatever the case may be, has not picked up on this absolutely baffles me. That I'm the only one that's saying this stuff on my channel. It's crazy to me. It's literally the same thing every single time, guys. And everyone goes in an uproar. Everyone panics. Everyone starts shorting for whatever reason and losing their minds when the market does the same thing into these events. Okay, I don't know how else to explain it. So that's my little rant there. Microsoft, telling you now, 435, breaks above that, start packing, okay? AMD. So AMD has thrown me for a loop, but I'm still bullish on AMD, okay? One thing I will say is that I think what's happening here for AMD, and I could be wrong on this, AVGO, I believe it's AVGO. I think semis are waiting, semis as a whole, not even just AMD. I don't even know what I was doing here. But semis as a whole, I think they're waiting on AVGO earnings. Wednesday after hours, AVGO has earnings. I think this is going to be the motivator for a push higher in semis. I could be wrong, but I think that's why we're seeing somewhat of a sell-off on AMD and not so much of a move on a lot of semis. ARM is going crazy for whatever reason, but everything else, even NVIDIA, is staying stagnant right now. So what I will say is that I believe that the semis, once the semis start kicking in, right along with Apple, pack your bags, people. We're going crazy. AVGO actually looks like really bullish for its earnings. like really bullish. I'm gonna have to, yeah. Anyway, yeah, back to AMD. Yeah, that looks super bullish. So back to AMD. Okay, what if I told you guys? Okay, everything disappeared. All my charting disappeared on here. So all right, but Thinkorswim has been weird today. So let's actually just erase everything while we're at it. So AMD. So AMD threw me for a loop today. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Okay, it just threw me for a loop. I mentioned in the last video we were in 170 calls for this week. So I said either we're gonna have to roll them over or cut our losses. I decided to cut losses because rolling over the contracts that I had was just way too expensive versus just closing out the position and just entering again at a better position and adding more time to it. So I did do exactly that in the Discord. I got us out of the play, and then I alerted that I'm back in the play. Yeah, so definitely had it charted, and then all of that disappeared. So looking here, I don't think you guys will be able to see this very well, but as you guys can see, AMD is in this wedge pattern, and it's pretty much at the bottom of it. It's holding 158, which is our monthly supply and demand zone. I believe it's going to bounce from here heading into the rest of this week, and then we can start heading towards 170. I still believe in AMD. I still think it's going to take off. I think it's just potentially, I think semis are just simply waiting on AVGO earnings. Or it could just be waiting on the CPI data. I don't know. But either way, one of those things are going to motivate this move for AMD to be higher. Goldman Sachs gave it a downgrade, but then like other analysts gave it an upgrade. So it could be playing out the Goldman Sachs downgrade first and then the upgrade afterwards. They gave it an upgrade of 200. So again, I think AMD is going to start bouncing from here heading into tomorrow. Okay. That's what I have for AMD. Right now, my price target is this gap fill around 167.5, but I honestly believe that AMD is going to go much higher than this. Okay, much higher. Looking at 185. Okay, 185 is my target. Do I believe it's going to happen this week? I can't really say for sure. I think it's just based on AVGO earnings, but we will have to see. All right, hopefully. Oh, okay, I see what I did. I have AMD twice on my watch list, and so I clicked on the wrong one. So here we go. This should be it. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I see what happened there. I gotta erase that. But regardless, as you guys can see, we're at the bottom of this wedge. We're at the bottom, pretty much at the bottom of the supply and demand zone. I believe genuinely that we're going to start breaking higher heading into tomorrow, and then AVGO earnings comes in most likely positive in my opinion, and then we start seeing a bigger move to the upside on AMD. So unfortunately, the market did like stop hunt today on AMD at least, and then we saw a somewhat of a recovery towards close, at least for AMD. Everything else looked absolutely fine. So that's what I have for AMD. That was like the only play we took a loss on in the Discord, but we're definitely making it back currently, and we're going to make it back. I don't take my losses lightly at all. Okay, I make them back either immediately or I tenfold them. Okay, that's just me. I'm very confident in my plays. Do what you want with that information. All right, and Discord link is in the description below, by the way. AMC. I'm telling you guys, AMC is ready. AMC is charging up. GameStop is charging up. I'm telling you guys now, it's coming. It's coming. I don't know when. Okay. Again, I told you guys in the last video, I do think we're going to see $6 this week. Okay, I think we're going to see that $6 target this week, and that was literally yesterday's video. And as you guys can see, we went from like what 470 all the way up to like, what was it, 530, 540 today. So the proof is there, man. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't follow Roaring Kitty and all that, who's shorting what and all that stuff. The TA tells me everything I need to know. I haven't followed AMC in years, and I just so happened to trip over it, and there it was. The last time I traded AMC before it pumped was like when it was at like $9, and then in the Discord I alerted it, and it ran all the way to $60. We made bank that day. We made so much money that day. So I'm looking to make that move happen again. Join the Discord if you want to join in. Right now we're in 5.5 calls for July 12th. Plenty of time on it. I'm also looking at another contract. I can't remember the date. I think it's January date, whatever January's date is. And I'm looking at 17 calls for that. So I might be jumping into that if AMC breaks $7. If AMC breaks $7, I might be looking to get into that contract. Just might be. Again, I told you guys, my short-term target on AMC was $7. It got to like $6, 6.9, So pretty close to that target. If it breaks $7, we're heading to $10. Again, AMC breaks $12, we're going to the moon. Simple as that. $12, $14, then $20. At some point in time, I do believe it's going to have to get back up here with these guys. It's going to clear these guys out. If it does clear these guys out, I wouldn't even say clear these guys out. I think it's going to have some turbulence here, and then eventually. So let me actually mark it out so it actually makes more sense. So if we just so happen to head up here where these guys are, right? We head up here, they're going to panic, okay? They're going to try to push us back down because these guys are shorting, guaranteed. These guys are shorting, right? And so we're going to drop maybe back down to $7, $10 range, somewhere around these guys right here. Bulls are going to charge up. Like, they're going to charge up. If you want a good example, I'll show you on Apple a great example of this. But we'll hit this area up here and then come back down. We'll build up liquidity. We'll build up volume. Bulls are going to, more bulls are going to gather in. Like, they're going to FOMO in. Retailers are going to FOMO in. More bulls are going to FOMO in. And then we charge up and then break through. These guys are going to get stopped out of their position. They're going to panic and we squeeze higher. That's what I think is the potential move for AMC here. Okay, so if we do just so happen to sell off here, and not only that, but a lot of halting is going to happen too, so I imagine that's going to be very annoying. But I genuinely don't think anyone cares about halting anymore. Like, we're so desensitized to it. I'm not an ape or anything. I wouldn't say we, but AMC traders, AMC shareholders, they're so desensitized to it. I imagine halting doesn't even bother anyone anymore. So that example on Apple that I was talking to you guys about, what happened here on Apple? So right here, when we hit the supply and demand zone, right here, we zoom out, we hit these guys over here. Hopefully you guys can see this at 198. These guys came in, they stepped in, these bears stepped in, and they brought Apple back down. So bulls were like, okay, cool, fine. We need more power. And what did they do? They gathered their spirit bomb, and we broke higher. Okay, that's exactly what I think is going to happen with AMC if we hit $12. Okay, GameStop. GameStop looks great. Okay, simple as that. I told you guys in the last video, if GameStop gets around $20, that is a perfect entry. Now, it didn't go like really close to $20, but somewhere down here would have been a great entry. We got really close to this trend. I think GameStop is going to head higher. Now, there's a shareholder meeting Thursday. I don't know how much that affects this or anything. I don't follow that stuff, but what I will say is that I believe that could be the outcome or the determining factor on whether GameStop pushes higher. What did I tell you guys in the last video? I said if GameStop heads to $60, I think they're just going to break through. Like, they're just going to break through. These guys are going to panic. These guys right here are going to panic. Okay, and we can see the same move that I just showed you guys on Apple and AMC. Right? We come up here. These guys are irrelevant. We come up here to $60, and they're like, "Oh no, they're gonna fight back." And we're like, "Okay, cool. Let's gather more power." Boom, head to $40. Boom. Okay, simple as that. That's what I think is going to happen on GameStop and AMC. So that's my thoughts as far as the stocks. Okay, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been pretty weird lately. I was really bullish on this thing. Now it's just like really shaky. What I will say is that if anything, if we do just so happen to get a sell-off, and I guess this is considered a sell-off for Bitcoin at least, but the move that I would be looking at, or the entry I'd be looking at right here, is about 64, 65K. Right here, we hit this trend line, and then we start to head higher. All right, that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Mark this on your charts, okay? I don't make these levels up. I don't make these trends up. As you guys can see here, we bounced here, and it looks like we're heading back there. And we hit 64, 65K on Bitcoin. I think that would be a perfect entry for miners or coin, whatever you're trading. Or if you're trying to trade Bitcoin raw, then go for it. That's my recommendation. For me, do what you want with that information, okay? But that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Bitcoin breaks above 72K. Then you're looking at a move to 75K. It breaks above 75K, 80K, easy, okay? SPY. We're almost done, okay? I know I held you guys here for a very long time. SPY. So, I don't know what was going on yesterday. Twitter, YouTube, everybody was bearish for today. I'm like, what? What about these charts made people be bearish? I don't know. Like, even, I don't know. Like, so, SPY is bullish for me, okay? We break 537. We're heading to 540 pretty easy. Right now, we pretty much stopped right before it. So, we could get a sell-off. Not a crazy sell-off, I should say, but somewhat of a drop here. Maybe back down to 533. We retest 533, 534 range, and then head higher. Simple as that. I have nothing bad to say about SPY. Now, if we just so happen to do something, get something crazy for whatever reason, I don't know, Powell just starts crump dancing on stage or whatever, I don't know. Whatever the case may be, if something bad does happen and we head all the way and we get a sell off, we can head as low as 526.8, 527 range. Okay, I've told you guys this in multiple videos that we're very illiquid in this area, so the only way I think we're getting down here is because of news, like bad news. Okay, that's the only reason I think that could happen. Other than that, pretty bullish on SPY. I'm not saying this move is guaranteed to happen, but if it just so happens to happen, if we break below 531.5, you're heading to 530, and then after that 529 will be your main key level here. 529, you're easily getting to this liquidated area, and then you're dropping lower all the way to about 526.8. I don't think we're going to head much lower than that. I'm pretty bullish for the summer. I just don't see a reason for us to really sell off really bad yet. Okay, I guess it depends on what you consider really bad. Triple Qs, I've said it multiple videos. My price target is 470. Here we are, 468. I don't know when you guys are going to take me serious on this channel, man. I'm giving you guys gold. I'm even giving you guys my plays in the Discord. They're a little late, but, because, you're not in a Discord. But, come on. 470 was my target. 480 is on the table, people. Simple as that. 480 is officially on the table. I think Triple Qs can start heading towards 480. Look at this. Look at this area we're in. We're just in a void here. Okay. Once we hit 480, I do think there's going to be a potential sell-off that happens. How crazy it gets, I don't know. But let's say we do head towards 480. We hit 480 and then we get a sell-off. Lowest I'm looking at is about 455 if we don't visit 455 prior to then. We hit 455, we hit this trend, and then we start to potentially head higher from there. Okay. What do I tell you guys? Anytime we get a sell-off, it's just more room for a bigger move to the upside. Okay. So where am I getting 480 from? As you guys can see here, we bounced here off this trend. We bounced here as well. We bounced here. And then here, we tried to break through, but it acted like a magnet. And then we finally sold off. And right now, I think we're trying to revisit this trend once again. I mentioned this multiple videos. Right now, we're trying to revisit this trend again. And as high as we can get is 480 right now. For first target is 470. We're pretty much there. So I'm going to take credit for that. But yeah, if you've been following my channel, 460, 465, I've been calling it for a while. When Qs is all the way in like 450, I've been saying this for a while. That's pretty much all I have. NQ, 19,500, simple as that. ES, you want to see us get above 5,400, simple as that. 5,400, 5,390. You want to see us get above those areas. I mean, you zoom out, you see it here. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's all I have. Hopefully you guys got something out of this video. And until the next video, traders, have a good one.